Good evening, people. Welcome to 21 Questions with myself, IC. I am the founder and I am the host of the SITDOWN UK. And this is a weekly Insta Live session that we do every Thursday, 9 p.m. And the whole aim is literally asking our guests 21 questions to find out the true story of their journey, the ups, the downs, and everything in between. So if this is the first time you're joining us, we always recommend go and check out season 1, go and check out season 2, and you can do that through our IGTV channel. Okay, we've got all the episodes there. I think we are now on officially episode 55. Don't quote me on that. But you can go on there, season 1, season 2, and binge to the weekend. We have some amazing inspirational conversations that we've had in the past and that we're going to have today as well. So please make sure you check that out. Secondly, today we are going to be raising money for a very important charity, and this charity is Cancer UK. Okay, so many people, whether it's your family, whether it's friends, so many people have unfortunately experienced that heartbreaking news of somebody dealing with cancer. Okay, whether they've died, whether they've been diagnosed, and Cancer UK are all about finding that research into this thing can be cured. So at the bottom of the screen, you will see a function where you can donate money. Now, £2, £5, whatever you want to, that's up to you. But we do want to raise some money. What we're trying to do every single week is pick a charity and raise money for it while we do the Insta Live. So we're not just taking, but we're giving back in some way, some shape, and some form. So please do get involved. Cancer UK is our chosen charity for today. £2, £1, £5, £10, £50, £100, whatever you can give, let's give something towards that charity. Now today we're going to have an amazing conversation with Cambridge-Simmons. He is the owner, the founder of Jossy Care, an amazing childcare service, and he is almost the advocate and the ambassador for male child caregiving. So we're going to delve into his story, and we're going to come over to him in a second. I just want to see who's in the building. Big up JK, always. Thank you for what you did. I appreciate that. We have the Warner Aesthetic just joined us. Welcome. The Laps, Sarah. I hope I got that right. If it's your first time, welcome. If it's your first time, can I get a 1 in the chat? That just lets me know you are first in today. Well, if you are, welcome. Cool. Enough of that. Let's get straight into it. Let's honor your time. I'm going to come straight over to you, Joss. Let's go. Get started. Let me know how you guys are doing. Hello, bro.
Hey, how are you?
I am good. I'm good. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too. How am I sounding?
You're sounding good. A bit echoey, but I can hear you. And if you tip your my camera down, I like your shirt. I love the color of your shirt. Oh, you're frozen.
This Instagram lifestyle still new to me, you know.
Yes.
I'm moving like Teddy Riley right now. Yeah, that's
Riley.
that's
Yeah, that's good.
yeah.
That is good.
Yeah, how are you?
I am good. I'm good. Are you? Oh wait, you're sitting down. If you tip it to you, or do you a bit so I can see you. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. I want to see your shirt.
I have to give you your flowers. One for being who you are, because I've been praying, I've been watching, been liking everything. It's lovely seeing a black man in this space, sensitive, articulate, soft himself, and it's like a new image to myself, like I'm looking in the mirror. And I don't see, mate. There's a lot of us out there, but I don't see it. So when I'm seeing you do your thing and how you come across, and you're so softly spoken, like I love it. And
oh man,
the content, yes, the content you made from to share the live, the previous content and the one you made for me was amazing. The little choo-choo trains in the airplanes, like you really put in the car. And yeah, I love the platform, man, and I love what you stand for in the black man and what you're doing. I had to give you. I was actually going to DM you months ago, but I thought I want to give you your flowers in front of the whole world. So I'm giving you your flowers right now.
Thank you.
It's cool.
I appreciate that, man.
Cool.
Oh, I appreciate that. Oh,
It's cool.
I didn't even realize I followed Jossy Care months ago because I think I heard about you, and then Emma messaged me, and at the time I was like, oh, who is this? And then I put the two together, and I was like, yes. And so even as I delved deeper into your story, I was like, oh man, this would be a great conversation because there's so many things you talk about, and there's so many things you touch on that resonate with me as well, like on a personal level. So thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, you can hear me, yeah?
I can hear you clearly.
Okay, cool, good, awesome. All right, cool. Well, for those who have joined us, welcome to 21 Questions. We're going to start off light. We're going to start off with a quick fire round. Quick fire questions shot at you, pion. Don't think too hard about them. Give me your first answer, your first response. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, ready.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm ready.
And you've got one pass card. So if you don't want to answer a question, you can use your pass card.
Cool.
All right, cool. So first one up is, give me something that made you smile this week. Something that made you smile this week.
Something that made me smile this week, watching Mighty Ducks.
Oh.
They've got a new series on Disney Plus, and it just brought back childhood memories. And I watched the rest of the season 2 days ago. I think last night, and yeah, really put a smile on.
Come on. Did you used to watch it on VHS?
Yeah. I grew up on all of them, and I played ice hockey. I thought it was a Mighty Duck. So seeing the series, when you watch the series, literally they hit it. No one had that. They got it perfect.
Okay. Cool. What is your favorite life quote?
Favorite life quote is, "It takes a village to raise a child."
It takes a village to raise a child. Why?
Because I come from the village myself. The foundation, my mum, my dad, uncles, aunties, my dad's people, them, mum's people, them, and every so often I get reminded why it's a village, because like uncle passed away a few weeks ago, and the amount of the village that pulled out from my uncle, like I'm from North London, Finsbury Park, the whole Finsbury Park came out from my uncle. Everyone that was there had some kind of input into my upbringing, and then the way I grew up in my household and with my family, and then universe spins around, puts me in a place where I now am the elder in the village, raising other people's children alongside them. It's big and serious when I say take the village to raise a child, because I'm still a child in that village. I'm now teaching my parents stuff as their child, and they're teaching me and I'm teaching others. So, yeah. Take the village.
Cool. I will say your connection's a bit choppy, so I sometimes hear you, but it cuts out. Is there any chance? Do you have another room you can go to? Sorry, I just I want you to be clear as possible.
Yes, there is. 1 second.
Okay. Sorry. Guys, welcome to 21 Questions. I want to get it right for you as well. You're welcome to 21 Questions with Cambridge-Simmons. If you are a Jossy Care recipient, if you've experienced his wonderful service, I would love to hear about that in the comment section. Leave a comment there. If you are new to 21 Questions, you've got season 1 and season 2 to catch up on. So click the link in our bio. Sorry, not click the link in the bio. Actually, check out our IGTV, and you can watch season 1 and 2. Joss, or even our hands-free would be good.
No, my hands-free broke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to go into I'm in the kitchen exactly. I'm going to go to the front room.
Okay, yeah. So I think it's the acoustics as well. Don't worry, it's all right. We'll get this right. Big up Julia inside. The Mindful Nanny Collective. Welcome. You are more than welcome. Who else have we got in the building?
You guys toured the crib.
Yes. What's that thing? What's that thing? House tour. That's it. House tour on YouTube. I can't stand house tours. I just think they're so intrusive, but I still watch them. All right, let me get this up here. Who else we got in the building? M. Carla Juru. Have I said that right? Just Sarah. The Modern Nanny. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Give us a wave in the comment section. Like I said, guys, we are raising money for charity at the moment. So today's chosen charity is Cancer UK. So if you connect with that, if you connect with what they're trying to do, which is to research and find ways to cure something that is affecting so many people, please click the link in the bottom section for donating, even £1. Last week we raised £30 for Girls Incorporated. I think it was Girls Incorporated we did it for. But today our chosen charity is Cancer UK. So every week we want to try and nominate a charity to give back to collectively pour into. So that's what it is today. So please do get involved. If you want to keep up to date with what we're doing, click the link in our bio and become a part of our mailing list. We are a live event actual company, so we do live events. But Corona hit and we came online. But we're going to be planning to get back to our live events as soon as venues get a bit more confident in holding people. But until then, we're going to be on here every Thursday, 9 p.m. Chantel, how are you? Hope you're good. Long time. All right. Jossy, we're coming over to you. Modern Nanny. Love that name. How was your day, guys? Have you lot been sunbathing? Big up to all the half term or whatever term it is now called. Because I know the roads are free as a bird. Let me know if you've been sunbathing in your south-facing garden. I ain't got that. I think mine's east or north, one of them. But yeah. Let me see if Jossy is available. All right, so I'm going to tell you guys a joke, okay? A man walked into a bar. Ouch. Can I get a round of applause for that? Thank you. Someone just donated to the charity. Thank you very much. Deeply, deeply, deeply appreciate that. None of the money comes to me, goes straight to Cancer UK. Hello.
Yeah, hi. Am I sounding better? Sorry, people.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, because I like the kitchen, but yeah, the echoes a bit much.
Oh, okay, cool. That's all right. Cara says, Joss has joined our family and my 3 children love him. Couldn't have asked for a better match so far. The learning opportunities as a parent have been great too. All right, man, it's changing. Changing lives out here. Changing lives out here. All right, we'll carry on. When are you the happiest?
When am I the happiest? I'm the happiest when I'm just content.
Okay.
And moments like I DJ, so when I'm playing music, also when I'm at my nan's, when I'm around my peoples, my godchildren especially, when I'm at work, because like work brings out my childlike side of me, which I've held on to for dear life. Like my whole ethos is to be childlike, and due to my work, I've been able to hold on to that. Another point when I'm happiest as well, it's just when I'm able to make people smile. Like I get great thrills from talking to strangers and just making their day or just acknowledging them. I realise acknowledgement big for all of us, but a lot of us don't ask for what we want. So 2 days ago, I helped these 2 elderly people from Dalston go to Ifield on the Moorfield Eye Hospital, and I sat on the bus with them for about 10 stops.
Wow.
Because I had spare time, I had nothing to do. And the way they appreciated it and the way they kind of held on to my hand was crossing the road and I had a best friend on my other arm, like that really, really set me off. That really elated me and put the smiles on my face that I like. And as I say, filled my cup up because I make sure I fill my cup up constantly. And also sleep. Like I'm a big sleeper. I love to sleep. Self-care is my bag. So sleep, getting my hair cut, being able to buy my beard products, my bath salts, and dress up as well. I like to. I've got a thing for shoes. So when I'm not able to dress up and put a shirt on and put on shoes, I now do it for myself. I've got on shoes, no shirt today. You can't see it, but I dressed up for myself just because I've realised how much that does for me. When I've done a lot for me, I'm able to do more for you.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm not into pouring out of an empty cup. I try to be as healthy as possible. I try to give myself more to give anyone else. Then I can give you more to them. So yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Who are you closest to?
As in?
So, for example, you wouldn't make a decision without consulting this person, or if something happens, they're the first person you run to.
My go-tos, got a few. My girl then, so Leanne and Fiona, and Raquel, and two of my best friends. One's my goddaughter's mum, who's like a best friend, and those three in particular. One because they're women, and my divine feminine energy is very strong. Like I've been embracing it, and it's partially because of my friends. So it's those three. My confiding Michael, who I've been friends with since I was about 12.
Wow.
He's the one person I go to bounce figures of ideas, and then my other two friends that are twins. One's hot, one's cold. So depending on what answer I want, I go to. But all my friends are honest with me as well and tell me how it is.
That's beautiful.
So yeah, so I've got my own little village of friends that I can go to for literally anything when it comes to
good. No, you need that. You need that. What does a fun night look like for you?
A fun night, hey, a fun night if I'm not working could DJ. Literally, like pre-COVID, we was DJing 3 to 4 days a night. Wow. When clubs were opening, and a real fun night is babysitting. Oh. And I'll be babysitting, say 6 to 12. The promoter will give me a 12:30 to 12:45 set, and then I'll go and DJ. And like I'm living my best life because I'm doing Jossy Care and I'm doing DJ Jossy, and that's a really good night for me. And also if there's food involved, so if you're from South, we'll end up in a bagel shop. But I live in Shoreditch, so I do prefer bagels in Shoreditch, in Brick Lane, preferably than South. So that's a good night.
So when you go to South, is that, please don't tell me you go to Bagel King.
Yeah.
Oh, vomit.
Not as much. It's dead now because I'm 33, so I think that Bagel King from Wade. It's not as lit as it was before.
Yeah, it's not.
Even when there's a point where we used to go Tipsel Town for 24 hours. Yes. These kids now, I'm saying, these kids now will understand. We had BBQs from early, we had Tipsel Town from 24 hours. We had a few cafes, 24-hour cafes as well. So
Tipsel Town in Old Street.
Yeah, they're good nights, and also a good night as well when I'm at home just chilling. I've got a Spotify playlist that I've made myself, and I've got a little movie on or a book, and I'm just chilling. And I watch a lot of films, and I also watch a lot of documentaries around neuroscience and brain development and physiotherapy. And I often do a lot of research around therapy and changing behaviours. So both nights are kind of parallel. And since COVID's gone, I've been doing way more of that because there's nowhere to DJ.
True. What are you most proud of?
What am I most proud of? Being myself. Being soft in my abilities, holding on to my sensitivity and not letting anyone hold me. Yeah. Because no matter what I've gone through, whether I failed or people dealt with me badly, I've got softer as I've got older. My aim is to get as soft as possible before I turn 80. It's not for me to become hard and then become an old man and realise I did it wrong. my goal for myself is to really, really stay in my softness and not let no one alter that or have to water myself down for anybody, any space I'm in, be it a job, relationship, family. So yeah, like, I'm proud of my softness and being able to be who I am authentically, with a rawness and proudly.
Yeah.
And prime example, since I was like 19, I go everywhere by myself, chest high. As a black male, not all of us can step everywhere. Like, as the man, like, and because I'm not in anything as well, but because of how I carry myself from my heart, I'm able to go anywhere in the world, let alone in the country.
True.
So just with love in my heart. And one thing I've learned with love, people see love. No matter what's going on,
True.
people tend to see love when it's vibrating properly and when you're on the right vibration.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true. All right, last two. What one food you would never ever try?
I eat everything, you know. There's not a food I don't like.
Really?
Like, when it comes to food, I am everything, and I've grown to tell myself if it's good for me, eat it. So there's not a vegetable I don't eat. There's not a fruit I don't eat.
Oh, okay.
Like, I started eating olives in 2020.
Wow.
Because I was working in an Antigua family, and the mom's like, try it, like it. She said to me, once you try something 6 times over like a period of time, you'll enjoy it. Try it 6 times over like a month. By the next month, I'm having olives for breakfast. Yeah, so I'm very open when it comes to trying food. Yeah.
Last question. What would your dream, if you were given a speaking opportunity, what would be your dream speaking opportunity?
My dream speaking opportunity would be a TED talk to speak about love.
Oh, nice.
And my take on love. And then, yeah, because for me, love goes into everything I do. So I end up talking about my whole life because it's based on love. I'm only here because of love. Like, I'm a love child. My mum and dad had me out of love, didn't have me out of like an accident, or it was just like, it just happened. I was the seed that was literally planted with love.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Love never fails, man. All right, that was your quick fire round. Can we have a round of applause, please, in the chat? That was light work, and Joss was just bouncing off them, easy. All right, so to everyone that's just joined us, welcome to 21 Questions with Joss Cambridge-Simmons. We are just giving him light touches as we go in to our 21 questions. If you've never joined us before, welcome. We have season 1 and season 2 for you to watch on our IGTV channel. So come on in. We are raising money for Cancer UK. And as we can see right now, £34 already raised. So big up to you guys. Please feel free, £2, £3, £4, whatever you want to give towards Cancer UK. But we're going to delve in now. So looking at your family setup, looking at past interviews that you've done, you do mention about there's almost like 2 cups that have poured into you. Yes. And you've got your mum's musical taste, but your dad's goodwill. And I love how when you talk about them, even as a child to now, it seems like there's still that presence in your life quite heavily. And so I wanted to ask you, what was it in your childhood that they did that as an adult you can still feel that relationship and have it so impactful in your life?
It stems from, there was a big spell, is it the word spell of domestic violence with my mum and dad. And that taught me love. Because I realised my dad did what he did out of love because that's what he knew. That's what he called love. It's not right, it's wrong, but when you only know one way, you act accordingly. I've had to interpret that to regrow a bond with him over the years to realise I can still love this person beside their wrongdoings, and realise the intention behind it. The intention didn't land well, and it doesn't make it right. And it was a thing where, like, it took years for me to get over it and come to terms with it. And with that, and then seeing my mum still love my dad after that. They've never been together, but my mum's been able to have a space apart, hold space for my dad, and be amicable, and now they're buddies. They chill. Like, we all go amazing together. Like my mum and dad are bedrooms. Like, you would never know. You would never think we've been through this. You would never think I've been through this. But it's what I've let it teach me, because I've realised you can become a product of your environment, or you can cultivate the environment and get what you want out of it. That's what I ended up doing. So that's where it's come from. And also, I think it's my mum's seen herself, but my mum's let me be me. My mum's let go of me to an extent, always let me be me. Like, we had a conversation a few weeks ago, like, I'm not gay, I'm not considering being gay, but we had a conversation about if I happen to be gay, how would you react? And there's no reaction. Like, a lot of parents can't have that conversation with their children at 33 and 26.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm able to kind of be who I want, how I want, with what I want. Do the job I do that's perceived as not a man's job. My mum's the person that found me this job in the local gazette. My mum wasn't. I think my mum had no inkling that men was doing this job when I was 19. My mum said that you might be good at this. Try it. Like, there wasn't no inkling then that men don't do this job. Let's try and do this. It's just, this looks good. You need a career to so you can stick to and like, see out, see if you enjoy it, and take it from there. And my dad's input was it was love, man. And my dad's a sensitive soul. My dad's more sensitive than as sensitive as me. But I fine-tuned it. Because, like, we have to learn from my parents mishaps. I won't say mistakes, mishaps. And we end up being a better version of our parents in one way or the other. So my dad's sensitivity, my dad's helpfulness, where he's old school, so he said it how this, like, if you're my bedroom, come to your house is a mess. He'll be like, big man, how you look like this, it's nasty. He'll say it out straight. He doesn't move from nowhere. That's my dad. Like, the tactfulness for the old school era isn't there, innit? So I've fine-tuned on that, and then just seeing how my dad talks to everyone on the street. That's where I get it from. I get the confidence to be able to talk to anyone on the street, no matter what gender, colour, creed, or financial status. And I give everyone space and time and love. I would give someone my last dollar if I could. I have done it numerous times, same as my dad does. Same way when, like, whenever I've travelled abroad for work, I end up giving my clothes away to the people that I don't need them.
Love it.
And I get that from my dad. My dad's good, like you said. My dad's good. My dad, that's how he's set. Everyone knows him for that. That's his thing. Like, he's a giver. Like, he'll speak to you. He's in Ghana now. He'll invite you and everyone to Ghana. Like, you've got a big house in Ghana. He invites everyone to Ghana. Like, open invitation for all the money and all my people there. He's been there. Like, so yeah, that's what I get it from.
All right. Well, tell Daddy I'm coming next week, please. You know, I love the way you talk about your dad, and you know, there's different posts that you post on your Instagram. You know, there's a day when you posted about what your dad had sent you as a message and how it topped up your heart with love. And just as you mentioned before, these displays of affection are not always equated with black males and the father-son relationship. It's this tale of it's always got to be broken is always put out there as that's the norm. Yeah, you know, I don't talk, but I love that you display that. And I wanted to ask, what, as a young man, still a young man, what impact does daddy's love have on you? How important is it, and what does it play in your life?
It showed me how to love and give, not from my pocket. But when I love you, what I've learned now is my love is about what I can do for you. It's not what you can do for me. Even in the relationship, what I've learned dating and my father is like, you need to work out what you can do for this person, not what you can get from this person. If they've got a good heart, they'll pull up. They don't pull up, they don't pull up. It's like, we're not like getting upset over it. So I've learned that. I've learned how to be confident in myself, my mum and my dad especially, and to feel no way in how I look. Where, like, haircut or no haircut, I still feel sexy. Like, I still have the same personality, I still have the same energy. Whether I've got a Lacoste shirt on or an ASOS top on, like, it's either or. My dad always showed me, man make the clothes, I'm clothes that make the man. And another thing is like, you want Gucci, go get a Gucci book. You want Gucci belt, go get a Gucci book, get a Gucci belt. So that's always been in my head, where like, I've never got lost in the sauce, as they say. And I've never been able to kind of do anything for money. Like, money is the object, obviously. You need to attain it, keep it, save it, let it grow. Yeah. But it's never been for the money. Anything I do, like, if I could do anything I do for free, I would. But obviously, I can't. I need to live. I need to cut through. But I learned that. I learned how to make friends. Like, I made friends at 33. I was talking to one of my godson's mums this week, and she said that she's not really open to making friends. Not across generation, black, white, or yellow, aren't open to making no new friends. I can't live like that. Like, I made friends on the train last week. These two brothers, get my Instagram, the guy showed it soon. Like, the energy was right. The energy is right when I get there, I'll go home. Like, I can't be in this life with the same set of friends from how many years ago. My friends are amazing, but like, the kind of person I am, especially when I travel the world and everything, I need to be able to like navigate and meet people and be confident. And I still get shy, you still become reserved, but you realise how unjudgmental new people are, because they don't know you, so they don't even realise you're really being yourself. And they're like, oh yeah, I love the way you said that. And I'm like, this is me normally, but they're loving it because it's me. So I'm always making friends of either genders all the time, and I get that from my father.
Yeah, I love that. Does it? What would you say? What is that? What is the opposite of father's love? Having it absent from a young black male's life, you have it in your life.
Yeah, it was difficult because seeing your parent perpetrate certain behaviour leaves you in a space where you have to work it out. There's nothing no one can do for you or say to you that's going to make you be okay with what's happened, whether it's your mum or your dad that's did wrong by you or by someone else in your family. You've got to work it out, and I've had to work it out for myself over the years. It took a very long time. It made us have a stronger bond. It made us fall out. It made me and my mum fall out, and made me and my mum have a stronger bond, because we all had to get over it in different parts. True. But then my dad was but one thing with my dad, he was always there when I didn't want him to be there, if that makes sense. There's times I'm not talking to him, my dad was there when I didn't want him to be there. So like, but then that's how I learned unconditional love, my mum and my dad, because unconditional love it doesn't stop. Like, and that's why I feel like I've not really been, I thought I've been in love, but I haven't, because I know my love don't stop. So for the women that I have love, I still love them to an extent, because it doesn't stop. I just wouldn't be with them again. Yeah. And X, Y, Z. But what I've learned about love, like real genuine, healthy love, keyword healthy, because that's what we're going for, doesn't stop. Like it sits and it holds space with you. Yeah. And you can't let go of it because it's that real. And then it takes you to another realm. So when you're with your new partner, you're an even better person.
It's true, actually.
So yeah.
You're preaching right now, man. There's a topic that you really do touch on a lot, and I posted it today. There's a quote that you say that, that I stay in my softness. Being soft makes me strong. And as a male, as a man, and exploring masculinity, there's always this war between being hard and being soft. And I sent you that song that I wrote, The Becoming. And I wanted to see, were there any, if you guys want to check it out, it's called The Becoming. It's on YouTube. I'm going to put it in the chat right now, promote my team.
Yo.
So were there any things that stuck out to you from that song, especially looking at that topic of masculinity? Yeah,
I was triggered.
Oh, okay.
I think I cried a little bit because it's very emotive. And it was very sad. It was triggering because it's so sad to have to see black men constantly, even if it's just for artistic purposes, put out a narrative that, baby girl, we don't speak. No, some of us speak, bro, and some of us speak well. Like, that's not a narrative that I can even conjure or relate to. But I get it because the narrative is so far forward you push. When you do speak in a space with a woman per se, it doesn't always land well because women ain't used to it. Because every man they've had before hasn't really spoken about how they feel.
True.
So and this is life. Life is about relearning. Everything in life is relearning. Like there's nothing. Everything I know now, I've relearned. Like everything from my past, I've let go. So what I picked up from that song was the narrative for a lot of men is that they can't speak up and that they have to be the holders of the burdens and have the world on their shoulder. But no, because no man and woman is an island. Like you wasn't meant to do this by yourself. Like it's meant to be one and two, not just one.
Yeah.
Even the whole concept of the man having to be the breadwinner in the household, like none of that stuff sits with me perfectly. Like because I've realised how much pressure that puts on a particular gender. Then we have our own pressures that we put on the opposite gender. Then what happens to the genders in between? Because we've got in between genders now. They don't have these issues. Transgenders and non-binaries that have these issues of who brings home the bread in the household. Because they're both saying one day one's a male, one day one's a woman. Like they have no, they're just trying to exist and be in love. We've got, excuse my French, like, we're over here, straight as a ruler, and we can't even get it right. But then these gays, non-binaries, transgenders, LGBTQ community seem to be very healthily in love with the ones that are, you know, and us lot are somewhat struggling and can't do it right. So, going back to what I got from the song was the nuance that a lot of men think that they can't speak up. A lot of men having no idea of they don't have to constantly be masculine. You can be in your divine feminine energy. You're allowed to, like it's normal. It's fine. And a lot of them not even realizing what that is because they're only seeing one way. And a lot of them are thinking they have to revert to the road to make ends meet. But no, you don't have to revert. You just have to really grind and find a job, legitimately. Right? You don't have to fit that stereotype.
Yeah.
At any age, like. But the older you get, the harder it becomes. But this is why I scream, be soft. I've realized I've been saying be soft for the last 10 years on Instagram. Like I scream it to the highest realms because there's so much power in being soft. There's so much nuance, so much energy that comes from being soft. Way more than being anything else. Especially in a world where people aren't themselves. People aren't who they say they are. People let situations change them. So that energy matching people do. People match energy because you dealt with them a certain way, so they give you the same shoulder. Like they're not being themselves. Because my authentic Joss doesn't tell me to treat people how they treat me. Like I don't know who taught us that, because none of us were taught that. We taught ourselves that because we picked up unhealthy coping mechanisms to do with the BS that the world gives us. And I've learned this from life and then from children per se, because children don't do that. Children have a bad vibe with you and let go of it because they don't know how to hold on to it.
Yeah.
Or they might dwell, but they're going to let go of it. It's not going to change especially when they're under 3. When they're older, they pick up stuff because adults in the space aren't teaching them how to cope. And I'm teaching them how to let go of stuff. So but imagine these children had those issues because when they're taught, us adults have these issues even worse because we're shown, but we still did the latter. Yeah. Some of us still don't know how to kind of navigate in a situation that isn't benefiting us.
True.
Yeah, that's why the song is beautiful. Very beautiful.
It's so much unpacking to do. JK says we've been conditioned to be a certain way when all we have to do is learn to be ourselves. I like that. That's deep. And I think, I wanted to ask you, like, the stuff that you've talked about in the past about the hardness of this world and how the hardness of this world distorts our authentic self.
Yeah. Okay.
And how do you keep your authentic self in a world that is so hard? and a world that does push you into a corner to act and be in a certain way.
Yeah. How I do it is cry. If I want to cry, I'm crying, no matter who's there. What it's for, I speak up. I remember what it was like to be a child. I do my job, as in I become in tune with these children, because what I've realized, these children teach me more than I teach them. And it's only because I become in tune and I let go. And it's the same what I've realized in dating as well. A lot of us want to be in control of our partners in some capacity. When you let go, that's when the love will really flow. When you let this person be who they need to be for themselves in the space with you, that's when you get the best out of people. That's how teachers teach.
True.
Teachers don't really teach. Teachers cultivate a space for us. So that's what I've learned from that. What was the question again?
That, like, how do you not let the hardness of this world distort like your authentic self?
Yeah.
So if you, for example,
a lot of that of what I said, and also realizing what I really want to be like. I don't want to be hard with a screw face constantly. Like, I never have had that. That was never my portion. And I think it's more so because I saw my dad in a certain light, and I saw him in the opposite version of that. I knew which one I favoured most. And because of what my parents poured into me, I favoured the one that was more positive, sensitive, outspoken, soft, patient, nurturing, only because I was nurtured a certain way. And also because of who I have in my space. I realised like all my friends allow me to be these jobs. They've never tried to make me anything else. Like, I've had a friend this week, he said to me that he's admired the fact that I've always been able to be openly expressive and sensitive, because we're taught as men not to be. And then the spaces that we're in teach us not to be. And then friends, people we date, parents, TV. And I've realised it's actually all over the world. Because I've been talking to people in other countries. It's worse in some countries. And we've got it quite easy for this toxic masculinity compared to other countries where like they persist. Like basically, unless you're gay, you're not meant to have certain type of emotions. Like it doesn't stand well in certain spaces unless you're a transgender or identify as gay. Then you can be seen to be sensitive and be flamboyant. But if you're not, you can't be. I don't support that narrative. I make my own narrative. And I knew I want to be for myself before anyone else. Yeah. And that's what it is, where I've had rumours, people be like, oh, you're just gay. Like, no, I'm far from gay. Like, I'm really, really straight. But due to people's small-mindedness, due to my job, due to my nurturing, caring ways, due to me not caring what people think about me as well, people tend to kind of be scared of what they don't really understand. But you don't have to understand me, you've got to let me be. Yeah. So that's how I've been able to, and then also listening to these children when these children speak, and when I'm in their space and looking after them and realizing that these children have got it under wraps, where if they're upset, they cry. If they're happy, they smile. There's no in between. Yeah. Like, like until they reach like the age of 5 and 6, or even above that, they don't know how to not be happy or not be sad. It's one or the other. There's no in between. Where us lot as adults have an in between where we'll sit in the yard with you all day and not say nothing. What's wrong? Nothing. Your face says it all. Like I've had to tell people I dated, like, please don't let your face wear your emotions. Speak to me, because I find it hard to be around that, and I also have to take myself from around those spaces because I realise your fight or flight, and your because you've got a heart brain, and your heart brain is what deals with emotions, and then you've got your other brain that deals with logic. Your logic kicks in and you become defensive, and then you start acting like them, and acting out of your character. When your heart brain is you acting in your character, being emotionally open and sensitive. I mean, we've all got it. We had it as children, and then something happened where it got taken out of us, or something happened and we never revert back to it, and we've gone through adulthood like that. Where we hold more space for children and their emotions than we do for adults. When we need as much space and time, or even more. We need even that. I think we actually need even more. And that's why, like, I tell my people when they're going through it, or even when they're happy, like, let me know what's wrong. Like, talk to me. Don't just hold it in. But I think women do it as much as men do. It's no longer even a gender thing where men are just holding it in, burdening the world on their shoulders. Like, women do it too, whether they're moms or not moms. Like, the whole world's sitting here trying to put on a face and constantly let the world harden them. Like, if I've let you know what everything I've been through in life, from birth up until the age of 33, I've been through some things. I haven't let them change who I am. And I've embraced the situations, and some way or the other, I've dealt with the traumas, and I'm still dealing with a lot of other traumas, but I'm not letting them alter how I navigate my emotions and how I behave. Even with my love life, I've often spoken to my friends, especially some of the men there, and they'd be like, "Oh, Joss, you know what? You got to be a bit harder. You got to be a bit because maybe you're too soft and the women that like it." And I ain't for now. I ain't got time to be anything other than me. Like, I'm still going to speak up. I'm going to speak up in a way that's not going to damage you or damage the environment. I ain't got time to be toxic. Like such crap as it is. So that's how I hold on to my softness and my authenticity. Yeah. And having people in your space that cultivate that as well. Yes. And not being afraid to let go of people. Luckily, I've not had to let go of anyone when it comes to friendships or family, because they all allow it, and they know I'll speak up if I feel like I'm not being acknowledged or if space can be held for me. Yes, that was it.
It's beautiful. I like it. I like that idea of not letting that hardness, shape you, because I think that's what like you said, that's what it is doing to us. It's making us act out of character, our normal, natural. I'm angry, I'm sad, but the external world seeks to kind of crush that and say, no, you're not allowed to be that. But that's it hurt me this way, it affected me this day. This is the natural, reaction. I mean, how that pours into your work. I was looking at some work from Jane Evans, who's like one of your kind of people you see from afar, one of your mentors in a sense. And I was looking at some of the stuff that she talks about, and I was just amazed. I'm looking to get her on here as well. I'm looking to get her on this as well. What are some of the things that you've learned from her that has kind of, and also Laura Henry, we had her, big up Laura, amazing woman.
It's to be yourself, man, and let these children lead. Because I've been working in early years for 14 and a half years now. Wow. Luckily, I've worked with some of the best early years staff UK's ever seen. Some of them are retired, some of them are still out here. And what I learned, like the practice that I learned at night in training was child-led play. So you walk into a classroom, there shouldn't be any noise apart from the children's conversations. The children pick up their own activity, pick up their own toys. You just sit there and wait for them to engage. And when they engage, you have open-ended conversation with them to extend their play. And that's where the approaches come from, to let children lead, and then letting children lead. When you see if you're dating someone, prime example, when you really, really become in tune with that said person, you can find out how they want to be treated by just listening and watching. You can ask, but people will show you how they want to be dealt with way better than they can say. And that's what I've learned from children. Luckily, I've learned that from the age of 9 and 20, where these children have been able to teach me how they want to be approached, whether they want to run up and say hi or slip back. And then also practicing consent with these children, because I don't interrupt their play without their consent. And the rule in some nursery is you never ever interrupt the child's play. And if you do, you have to approach it a certain way. You have to have a prompt. And have a prompt in the morning and set an alarm, set a timer. In 10 seconds, I'm going to ask you a question. Okay. 10 seconds is gone, they're ready for it. Yeah.
I have to really, really thank you personally. I've got a 2-year-old daughter, and I was watching there was an interview you did, and I was watching it yesterday. And yesterday was, was it yesterday? Yeah, I think yesterday was a bit of a challenging morning in terms of my patience with my daughter. But I watched your video, and some of the things that you were saying were so powerful, and that idea of letting go of, as a parent, from trying to mold and shape and puppeteer this child through my own thinking. And so today, I took on those skills that you talked about and those approaches of being child-led. So I remember I was getting her ready, and the time I woke up, it meant that I didn't have as much time as I needed to get ready and get ready for work. But hearing your advice, I kind of just let her lead it. And, you know, it led to the socks that she picked that so happened to match what she was wearing without any prompting from me. If she wanted a kiss, she got a kiss. If she wanted a hug, she got a hug. How she wanted to brush her teeth. And it really just showed me that, you know what, you have to be able to let go of everything you know. So tell us a bit about where that comes from, the positive parenting kind of aspect.
That comes from my teachings in nursery when I was like 19, where like the first nursery I worked in, that was it. I think the child-led approach came in for the first time in normal nurseries ever. But before it was a Montessori nursery practice. Only Montessori nursery had it. Then we were the first mainstream nurseries to actually have that practice.
Wow.
And I was one of me and my room leader, and maybe me and the team I had was the only team that took it on board. Because we didn't mind change. As adults in that setting hated change. So we didn't mind changing our practice and making it more child-led and making the child the centre of the learning, not the adult. I should put in our paintbrushes and pencils. That's suiting my needs, not suiting them. And I look at life the same way, where like I want you to, okay, my concept of life now, a lot of us like what we like about you in a narrative that fits. And you pick up that narrative, we're rattled. Think of parents now. And you think of the narrative they have of their child, and you think out of that, they don't like it. They're scared, they're anxious, all of that. The negative emotion will come out when everything outside of it, as long as it isn't life-threatening, and even if it is, let the child challenge it. Climbing frame, for example, I don't stand behind children in climbing frame. Now my little boy I look after climbs every climbing frame, every park I go into, he climbs to the top by himself and down. Because I don't stand behind him.
And why not?
And I don't.
Why not?
Because I end up putting my own fears. Because I end up standing there, and when you know something's behind you, a safety net, you end up constantly looking back. Like, no one wants someone over their shoulder constantly breathing. And that's because I've been able to detach myself and take my wants and needs. What does this child need to be able to get through this moment? How can this child learn? If they're asking for my help, they're going to get it. If you're not asking for it, there's no need.
Yeah.
And that also comes off the back of building healthy relationships with children and healthy bonds. Hence why a lot of us go back to our grandmas or our aunties or a certain place. On Sunday, some of us have a house we go to, whether it's our best friends, because that's our safe space. We end up going back. No matter how old we are, we end up having a phone call, text message, going to cemetery. And the same is with children. When children need to have a safe space with you, be able to go, come back and you're still there, or another adult is there in your place. But that's only possible when you've built healthy relationships with these children.
And how do you...
Yeah, and I try to practice that throughout life as an adult.
Okay.
Keyword try to, not easy. Yeah, it's really easy.
For some of the parents watching, or for those who are in that childcare sector, give me 2 or 3 practical things that they can do to help build that bond and that relationship, especially
do the work on yourself, man. Like, as me and my friends constantly saying all the time, you've got to do the work. Like, for any relationship in life, you've got to do the work on yourself. So whether it's a business, a new job, a relationship, your children, you're going to realize how much work you've got to do on you to be able for that to work, and to be able to let that child or let that person be. So work on yourself, work on your triggers, work on your fears, because you're going to end up putting them onto your child. And anything you're scared of, or or your fears, don't put them onto the child. Like, do your best work to let go of them. As hard as it is, it's not a walk in the park. But and also tell yourself well done, because enough parents don't tell yourself well done. You got into school on time. I do the school run. It's not easy. Like, getting one child ready, let alone 3 children ready, and a body, it's long. Like, as a professional, let alone a parent, like, I tell myself well done when I've got the 10 minutes early and we can get to the park. And you've not forgot nothing. Like, no, like, because you've still got your own, you've got to think of your own schedule, let alone children's schedule, isn't it? True. And another word of advice as well is make sure you pour into yourself as much as you pour into your children. Because a lot of parents I've seen have a mindset where they will give their child the world and give themselves nothing. Okay. But what happens when you become empty? Yeah. Like you can't pour from an empty cup. You think you can, and what I've realised, especially what I've realised from relationships and adults, is when someone's pouring from empty, it tends to start getting negative, and the environment becomes a little bit toxic. And the same with the parents. Then that toxicness gives you becoming impatient. Yeah. You start being late. You're lacking sleep because you're not doing your self-care, thinking about yourself. You're not going to the village that you hopefully have to ask for support, whether it's a friend, getting a childminder, partner, X, Y, Z. Like, if you do have people, reach out to them and let them know you need support. And don't be afraid to give yourself adult time, because you're an adult, you need time by yourself. Yeah. Like, it could be just to sit in the garden with your feet up, listening to your favourite rap tune that you can't play around the kids. Like, it could be that simple. And also another thing as well, try to let your children lead, but before you let them lead, prepare. So, for example, when I'm coming home from the park with my boys, then we usually get home, within 10 minutes of walking through the house, tears. There's something triggers them. Like, something goes wrong where you might walk into the house and step on us and touch his brother's shoulder. He touched me, and like, what always happens when you get in from the park. So what I started doing, halfway home, I talk about our day. I talk about what we're going to do when we get home and what we're going to do when we get through the front door. And for example, where they might walk in and throw the jackets on the floor, I say, when we get in, where do you put our shoes? You put our shoes in the fridge? You put your shoes in the cooker? No, you put them in the cupboard. So when we get in, they have a plan to put them in the cupboard or put them in the fridge and make a game of it. Like, they sometimes go for the fridge for a laugh. But that prevents them having to be upset and prevents them stressing themselves out and becoming anxious. But if they do become anxious and become stressed out, we hold space for them. And what we are going to do with our children and ourselves is sit with their feelings. I've got a person that you might have seen it where we need to sit with our children's feelings. But we can only do that as adults if we do it ourselves. Yeah. A lot of us are pouring out of cups and doing the work for our kids that we don't do for ourselves. The mind doesn't work. Yeah. You're trying to pay patience for your child, but what patience do you have for yourself? What nurturing do you do for yourself? Like, how do you nurture yourself? How do you care for yourself? I'm not talking about bills and finances. Like, do you let yourself be upset? Do you talk to yourself when you're upset? Do you hold space for your feelings? Do you speak up? You can't tell your children to speak up and do X, Y, and Z and cultivate a space for them. If you're not cultivating that for yourself, you need to lead from example. We're not our parents. Our parents did a thing where do as I say, not do as I do. We need to lead by example and do as we say, and have our children work out what they want to do with it. Mm-hmm. Especially when it comes to our feelings and emotions, where especially we want our children to be able to come to us, but we don't come to ourselves, bro. These children are only able to have strong, because of the way I work, I'm never with the same family all the time. But because of the bond I have with these children, I can be gone for a month and come back and the bond's still there. And they can come to me with the same energy that we always had. And it's only because of the work I did on myself. Yeah. And the work I've seen from these children that I've got to do myself if I want to cultivate the perfect space for them. Yeah. Whether I'm there or not. So, that's my advice.
I was going to ask, I was going to say that self-care word is often it's a cuss word. With parents, it's a very rude word to use, self-care. because it says that, you know, parenthood is the hallmark of parenthood is sacrifice and making sure you do everything for your kids. But I guess, you know, we really have to drum into our mind, as much as you do everything for your kids, are you doing it for yourself? You know, very important.
You're going to work on empty and you're going to pop down. Like you can't go on forever on empty. It's not possible.
Yeah. What, coming from a culture, a black cultural background, what are your views and how have you seen, what are your views on beating and smacking children?
It's the easy way out.
Yeah.
It's the easy way out. It's why a lot of these black males are out here doing what they're doing, because they wasn't given the time or space to show any sort of emotion, had anyone to go to. When they was going to someone, they'd get the lick. So and I perceive and I see beating a child the same as domestic violence. You're teaching this person love via your hand. So because I love you, I'm hurting you. You don't do that, I'm going to hurt you. You do it, I'm going to hurt you, but not as much to tell you I love you and maybe say I'm sorry. When you're sad and when you're scared, you've got to come to the same person that's hurt. Like, think about it. Let alone, okay, say the victim in the domestic violence and look at the child. How is either, especially the child, meant to want to come to you as their secure adult that they've got a secure attachment with? Like, how twisted have we made their ideologies of what love is now? Then we wonder why we're all out here chasing some toxic cast love, because it stems from that one slap, that go and get the belt, that one dash of the slip of you got dashed at us. Like, and we got told I'm doing this because I love you. No, but what I have learned, our parents did what they thought was best. And but a lot of us, I realise now, haven't realised we've got so much work to do because of that on ourselves.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm not for it at all, especially I was raised that way. That's why I become so sensitive, because that would have let the world harden me before I even stepped into the world. If I put on armor because of that, I wouldn't be who I am now.
Wow.
I'd be a very angry boy that a man. I wouldn't be. It's made me become itchy, where like I don't wear someone else's scars, but they're still in my mind. I still have those, like, I don't have any triggers, but I haven't forgotten those moments when I've got slapped, whether it be big or small. And there's like, and because of what I know as well, work-wise, there's so much other ways to approach a child, but it stems on the work you do on yourself. Because of the lack of work adults like do on themselves, they're gonna raise their hand, and then they become ignorant and tell everyone that they know what they're doing when you're not, because now you're being violent towards your child and you're gonna say X, Y, and Z reasons why you're being violent. When I hold up the same regard for domestic violence. They're both wrong. There's no right reason to hit your partner. There's no right reason to hit your child. Because if they're both unconditional love, it's just one comes from your seed and one steps into your one. So what, you want to damage the most two important people in your world because of your lack of control? Because a lot of why we beat our children is because lack of control. You want to be in control. We don't want to feel like we don't have control of our children. So we've really got to do the work on ourselves, pick up books, learn about neuroscience, learn about traumas and PTSD. Because the more and more you learn about traumas, the more and more you'll realize how traumatized you are as an individual, let alone how you might make your children traumatized. Like, I don't want my children to be scared of me. Like, I've had to unlearn so much because of my mum and my dad beating me. I've had to find out how I can still love them past that. And a lot of us in relationships, it's not domestic violence, but we're trying to love people past traits that aren't healthy for us. And secure attachments and healthy relationships stem from the household. The first healthy relationship and secure attachment stems from the crib. If it's not done right in the household, you can be F for life until you fix it and you realise. And sometimes you come up unstuck, where there's 27, 33-year-olds that have no idea of what secure attachment is. They don't realise that the attachment they got as their partner, and every time their partner goes up, they want to cause, every time their partner goes raving, they cause an argument. And they don't realise how toxic that is. But because of the mindset they've had and probably what they've gone through as a child, teenager, they don't know any better. So just in that cultivating that space and having children in that same space.
it's so interesting. Like when I became a father, I came with the mindset of, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to do this, I'm going to be like this. But I really found out that was impossible to do, like you said, without the work. If you don't do the work within yourself, it's good speech and it's good rhetoric, but unless you do the work you do within is going to shine out. And so I started to go to therapy and realize that, oh my days, like, look at all the baggage I'm carrying and I'm still trying to deal with that and be, father. But the more work I'm doing, the more change I'm seeing. And there was something that you said, I heard in that video, you said of how that work will enable you just, again, to let go of all these expectations. I did an interview with Jamie, and Jamie asked him about his daughter, and I said, what are your expectations for your daughter? And he said, none. He said, no, I just want her to become. And your work is really sticking with me, whereby if I look at my triggers and my desire to control, once I unpack that, then I can let go and just, if the child wants to do this, then let the child, because they're going to grow up and pay council tax.
Like, hurt people.
Yeah. Who's
going to get hurt the most when you're a parent? If you become hurt the most out of that, how can you really parent at your ultimate? You're going to parent, but you're going to parent at the end of the spectrum, which is the unhealthy. The end of the spectrum is where you don't want to be.
Yeah.
You can obviously always come back, but that's going to be the part of the spectrum for a parent or for the carer, where you're going to be working up empty, being defensive. It's going to be fight or flight, and you're constantly fighting with yourself, fighting with the kids, and fighting with the space you're in. And also what Jamie said about expectations, yes, like I've learned that in life from children, and then I always use dating as an example because I realise it's the most simplified example you can all relate to, where like I no longer have expectations of someone that I'm with. Because my expectations are based on me wanting to be comfortable with the narrative that I have, when I've realised real love makes you uncomfortable. And I've realised that with children. For me to really have these children be the best they want to be for themselves, I have to become comfortable in their space, not the other way around. Yeah. And that's the same that I see dating now. Like, I have to become uncomfortable if I want to be able to cultivate, if I want to be able to be. And also, it's just being. None of us can't just be, People will come in, like, I feel like everyone's got this list of what they want from someone. Which means you're going to meet someone and they're going to have 9 out of 10. Within the year, I guarantee you're going to probably try and change them. Or they might change themselves, because humans are very considerate. I've learned from children what I've learned, I'm never changing anything of myself for anybody. You walk myself down for, no, I must be mad. No. I'm not filtering none of my being down to make someone comfortable. To make sure I'm comfortable, work on it. That's a new problem. Like, I'm not doing it. And the same way, I've learned that from children. Children that made me uncomfortable in the space they're in, I've had to work on it. I've had to go and do the work. I haven't made these children have to fit my narrative and my expectations. And when I have did that and made the mistake, you see, when you reflect, you realise how damaged you might have made that environment, and the child become upset because I've ended up maybe tearing them off when I should have told them off. I should have spoken to them. Like it's really like that. Lessons in love, like, children are the best lessons in love. Like, if children could run the world and teach us love, we'd all be in a better place. That's what let me not cry as well. Like, that's how I've really gauged and rock and really
try, man.
That's how I've really loved and cultivated and held on to it and kept it in my being, and been able to give it and not want it back, because there's more that's come from. Like, my mum, my dad, my family, and then you have yourself to blame for your blessings as well, because part it comes to a stage where you're you because of you. So these children have taught me a lot about love, and these families that I've worked with, and been able to teach me love in a way where I've been able to put it back into it was always there, But I've realised I was plotted, and because of the way I was plotted, I'm now able to do what I do, how I do it.
Yes.
So I realised I'm probably doing the better version of what my mum and dad did with me for others.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful.
Where they knew what they knew, they would have did what I did with other people's children. Well, they're more patient with me now than they was years ago, but it takes growth in it. But the person that's going to get the best growth out of the parents is the children.
Mm-hmm.
Parents then grow and the children grow even more, and I'm that child that's grown, helping others. So I've been able to get lessons of love from these children on a scale that's been life-changing. And that's why even when I meet new parents with newborns, I learn even more from these parents than they think. Because children bring out a spark of you, a part of you that you never knew existed. So imagine what comes out of you when you're a parent. The child is yours.
Yeah.
I haven't had that lucky experience yet, but I've been around it and I've seen it, and I've had my own version of it, but not to that capacity. Where because I've let go, I've been able to be navigated by the love that is these children, especially as they get older. Even when they're newborns, like these children will let you know how they want to be held, whether it's under the arm and at angle, or whether it's under your shoulder because it's warm and you've got to put your ear on their head to keep them warm. Or some babies want to sit with my heartbeat. Like when you become in tune and listen, these newborns will let you know how they want to be cradled and cuddled. And it all goes back to the concept of even sleep training, where you shouldn't be sleep training children. We should be answering their needs and answering their emotions the same way we should do for adults. This person's crying inside, why have we left them crying inside? But the training that they put out, narrative is opposite, let children cry it out. When we let children cry it out, we're telling children that no one's coming to them in their time of need. And these children ain't stop crying because no one's coming. The only reason I stopped crying was to know they're okay. I didn't stop crying because I took myself hard to stop crying. Because when you cry, you only stop when you stop. You can't stop yourself crying. Like once you started, so for children, these children that mentally have a superpower to stop, they've had to answer their own needs. And children haven't got the capacity to answer their own needs. That's what they have to create enough adults for. But that all stems from, you see that the lineage where it stems from children and goes into adulthood.
No.
And we can't run away from it because it catches up with us at a later stage if we don't do the work.
Yeah.
But the beauty is, as adults, we can learn how to do the work and grow from it. The beauty is, we can get the tools and read and learn and get therapy and cultivate new spaces for ourselves, which you become newly born, you become a child again, probably.
Yeah.
Every time you grow, you become a child again.
It's almost like you go back. We have to actually learn to be children. We actually, because something happens, there's a switch that goes off, and we put away childish things because they're deemed as childish. But in reality, the childish things are what we need in adulthood. But in adulthood, we then become this version of ourselves that is not actually real. It's not actually who we are.
And it's not beneficial for who your core wants to be. There's who you want to be and who your core wants to be. It's not beneficial for your core. You start fighting yourself.
Yeah.
Because your authentic self is there. We don't all tune into it. But it's there and it's fighting to get out. You just got to let it out, let go, and stop wanting
let go. There's sometimes I don't know, let's say something's happening at home, or say I'm in a setting where there is happiness, like joy is happening, like, and I want to smile or be happy, but I'm just like, I don't know, I don't let myself. Trish Star Bianca said, let it go. And I think that's what happens. I don't let go because I'm thinking, how long is this joy going to last? So I need to prepare myself for the switch up. So it's all good right now, cool, but that ain't going to last long. Let's get over that. Whereas, you know, I think with my daughter, I'm learning a bit more to just be.
Two things. True star Bianca is one of the most authentic people you ever meet herself. No matter what space Bianca is in, Bianca is Bianca.
Good luck, Bianca.
Secondly, joy and pain bring sunshine and rain. Yeah? These songs aren't doing what they're doing for no reason. Like, joy isn't meant to last. Nothing's meant to last.
Yeah, true.
You have to cultivate it, take what you take from it, let it pass, and you come back again in new form. True. The same way you're sad one day, you're happy one day. But that's all letting go. Because you got to let go of the joy. Like, you can't be happy forever. Because you're going to have moments when you're a bit annoyed. Like, you've got to be able to. But then, what I realized, like, I read a lot about Buddhism and spirituality. When you really, really let go, you become just optimum. You just sit there and you're just content and just chilled.
True.
Which is what I'm trying to get to. Become someone that doesn't need much. Which is scary, but I love the thought of it. Like, I'm trying to get there. When there's not much, like, things don't really upset you because it isn't that it's what it is mentality. You still hold space and get upset, but you become even more understanding to things going on. Your house burns down, okay? Houses burn down sometimes, bro. Like, it's the worst scenario ever. But, like, stuff happens. Like, you haven't got to let this change your narrative. Easier said than done. But that's the person that I'm trying to become. That I've been trying to become, and I'm kind of getting there, like, bit by bit by bit. Like, I'm less in control than I ever was. Like, I don't want to be in control. It scares people, and like, I've still got the same friends, but like in the realm of dating, it makes people seem like I don't want to be committed. Well, no, I just don't want to be in control. I want to be loved. I want to love you, but I also want to give a love that you want to give back. How you want to give it back. I don't want to be in control of how you give it back. Because I realize that ideology that I have of what I think I want, I need to let go of it.
Yeah.
Because for anyone that's married, they realize you've got what you didn't even know you wanted from said person.
Yeah.
Even people that are parents, you've got what you didn't even realize you wanted out of these children. For me, for example, I've my parents would never have imagined that I am who I am, but they always knew I was going to have heart and have soul and be great, but they didn't ever know to this capacity. But because it came a stage when they let go, and then I became free, and it became to follow the path I want, and I started winning awards, I started going self-employed, I started doing this, and you realise how much you believe in yourself when you let go and stop being in control as well. So, yeah.
Bro, we could be here all night, man. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm going to ask one last question, man, because you've done amazingly. In all the children that you are in contact with all the children overseas, domestically, that you are impacting, when is your time to go? What would you love, not that you're in control of this, but what would you hope would be that legacy that you leave behind in these children? And in your children, if you choose to have?
Be yourself and be soft. And that's me talking to myself. And I realized that's the biggest thing, because the world doesn't tell us to do that. Yeah. So it makes it even harder to be. So we need to cultivate this space for our children constantly to be able to be a certain way. Like, we need to have them in a space where that's allowed constantly. No matter how stressful it becomes for us, they're allowed to be soft, they're allowed to be themselves, they're allowed to be expressive in a way that suits them, not a way that suits us. So, and another thing as well is that they see men as sensitive souls and nurturers and carers and caregivers. Because I've been with some of these children since birth. I've been a birthing partner, I think, 2 times now. Like, I've been with a lot of these children from birth. So they would never understand that men don't do this job, because they've seen a man. Yeah. They would never understand. So And that's because they see me, they see other men. Like, so yeah, to have them kind of see that and see us black men in a positive light. I can't even say that because these children up to a certain age don't realise, they know that I'm black, but that's neither here or there for them. They just know that I look different to them. They don't know what capacity they don't know what that means that he's black. Like, we've got a definition for our blackhood. They just realise that Josh is black, I'm white. But my colour, they say, Josh, but your skin isn't black, it's brown. Like, that's it. They haven't got the complex that we kind of have with it that we've attained from trauma or whatever. So that, and then one last thing as well is for these children to know that the world is theirs, man. And they are the best teachers. They are the best teachers, man. Big and serious, the best teachers, man. So yeah, that's it.
Bro, thank you so much for this evening, man. A lot of people have said that, I want to watch this back. As soon as this finishes, it will go live on our profile page, so you can watch it from top to bottom, and you can share it with other people, parents, childcare personnel, whoever you think can benefit from it. So please can we have a round of applause for Joss in the comment section, please. And I want you to leave some comments of encouragement if this has helped you this evening, if you've benefited from it. Let's hear that, let's see that in the comment section. Just tell us, is there anything you've got coming up that we need to be looking out for? When is your book?
I'm an ambassador for these bottles, Happy Bottles. It's black owned. I'm an ambassador for this company, it's black owned.
Nice.
Code's in my bio. What's coming? I'm going to be in CBBC, I think, next month on a show called Our School.
Oh, cool.
Filmed it a few weeks ago. What else is coming? More interviews, more podcasts. Slowly but surely curating documentary with a film crew, that one of my good friends, that's going to be coming out at some point.
Yeah.
And more talks, just more conversations on this, because I want these topics to just thrive and just become even bigger and more serious. So that's what's to come, man.
And I think we need a book, and we need somewhere that holds the space of your thoughts, so that when you're gone, we can just... I started writing just my thoughts, because I realised like they're quite deep, quite big, especially where love is the centre of everything. So the book is called Love. That's the title. So perfect. I don't know when it's going to come, but it's going to come, people. It's going to come. Perfect. Yeah. Let me read some of these. I'm so proud. This was wonderful, simply wonderful discussion, says the war aesthetic. What else? Enchant says, children have no judgment as we as adults have. The purity to love in them is so real. Oopsie Daisy Care says, children do not see colour until someone brings it to their attention. True Bianca says, I love to see your work ethics. Good, love it. Yeah, someone said yes, a book. All right, cool.
Yeah. Yes. And thank you for having me, man. Thank you. Keep
My
it up.
pleasure, man.
Any support? Any support as a parent? Just DM me. Any questions?
Yes, indeed.
Directly,
indeed, man. Yeah. Well, thank you for your time, bro. Please also thank Emma as well for sorting everything out. We wish you all the best. And again, for us, we always say, if anybody comes on this platform, we have this unwritten contract that whatever they do, we support and we try to push out. So when that book is ready, when you've got a podcast, when you're talking somewhere, when that TED Talk comes, please just send our way and we'll blast that to our people, man.
Thank you, man. Good luck, man. Thank you.
No worries.
Thank you, people. Peace.
Take care. Guys, thank you so much for joining us for 21 questions this evening. I want to thank everybody that has also donated to cancer research. If you do want to drop in a little donation before you go, please do. And if it's your first time joining us this evening, please follow us. We have this every Thursday, 9 p.m. And we just try to unpack different stories from different industries, from different perspectives, just to provide some content that inspires and empowers us. So please do check out our IGTV channel. We have season 1 and we have season 2 for you. If you want to watch this back from the very beginning, as soon as I close it, it will be on our front page. So make sure you check it out. Thank you to everyone that has joined us, and we'll see you next Thursday, 9 p.m. Take care, guys. Bye.